goalkeeper, number 1, Kirsten Lane. Number 5, Carly Kowalik. Number 6, Hayden Zuniga. Number 8, Julia Tucker. Number 10, Desiree Morgus. Number 11, Naomi Avita. Number 13, Caitlin Schmidt. Number 14, Kinsey Mitchell. Number 19, Victoria Nunez. Number 20, Mackenzie Mendez. And number 24, Selena Casillas. Your assistant coaches are Josie Madlick and David Canuzia, and the head coach at Eastern New Mexico University, Joshua Smith. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are your St. Mary's Rattlers! In the net, a senior from Cedar Park, Texas, number 0, Erin Longford. A senior from Colleyville, Texas, number 2, Ashley Dozier. A senior from San Antonio, Texas, number 4, Leah Whitaker. A senior from Helotes, Texas, number 6, Alexia Maldonado. A junior from San Antonio, number 8, Gabby Olson. A junior from Wimberley, Texas, number 10, Serena Frank. A senior from El Paso, Texas, number 11, Lauren Mamui. A senior from Louisville, Texas, number 13, Abigail Page. A senior from Alamogordo, New Mexico, number 16, Adriana Smith. And a senior from Fort Collins, Colorado, number 17, Olivia Bachelet. Your assistant coach is Adam Nerio, head coach of your St. Mary's Rattlers, Corwin Rich. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise. As a Catholic university in the Marianist tradition, we begin all activities by asking for God's blessing.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome into Rattler Soccer right here on KSAT 12 ABC as well as the Rattler Athletic Network. Joey Zanaboni, I'll be carving the jack-o'-lantern for you out here on a fine October the 26th. I'll tell you, yesterday, holy moly, it was blowing wind and gusting. It was crazier. Windier yesterday than heavy breathing at an aerosol factory, but today much, much calmer and nice and sunny here as the Rattlers take on the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds in the match that will be senior day here for the Rattlers. 8 seniors being honored. That will come at halftime, and really you just could not ask for a more perfect day than this. 66 degrees right now, and as we said yesterday, those winds are up to about 22, 23 miles per hour. Today just 6 miles per hour here at Sigma Beta Chi Field. The Rattlers in the blue and silver look. The Greyhounds of Eastern New Mexico, they are in the white with the green trim. Rattlers poised on the right-hand side of the field. The Greyhounds poised on the left-hand side. The opening flip here of the coin for our refereeing crew and both teams, Lauren Malui as well as Alexia Maldonado out there, or pardon, that's actually Olivia Bachelet taking the coin flip here for the Rattlers, and we are just about to get going. Rattlers yesterday played pretty well against West Texas A&M. Were unfortunately saddled with a foul call in the box with about 29 minutes to go in regulation. West Texas did capitalize on that. Ended up winning the ball game 1-0. Erin Longford made 5 saves. She was our Pizza Patron player of the game. Played pretty well, just could not quite stop the penalty. Had it on the fingertips, she told me after the game. Couldn't quite keep it out of the back of the nub, and they are dancing and cheering here as we get ready to get going. The Rattlers with 8 seniors here on senior day trying to snap a streak of 3 straight losses. The team's now 4-9 overall and 2-6 in Lone Star Conference action. The Hounds coming to this one 5-6-1, 2-6-0 in conference play. They did win 4 in a row to start the season, but since then they have fallen on a bit of harder times here. The Hounds have been on the downswing just a little bit, but still a dangerous club, and they are trying to stay alive in the race for the Lone Star Conference playoffs. They really need every win that they can get. Here down the stretch, same for the Rattlers, so it should be a hard-fought matchup. Top of the card, it's Longford in net here for the Rattlers. She's backed up by Ashley Dozier, number 2, number 4, Leah Whitaker, number 6, Alexia Maldonado, number 8, Gabby Olson, number 11, Laura Malui, number 13, Abigail Page, number 14, Megan Copeland, number 16, Adriana Smith, number 17, Olivia Bachelet, who just took that coin flip, and number 22, Riley Keeney, backing her up. In net for the Hounds, it's number 1, Kirsten Lane, backed up by number 2, Lauren Deskamp, number 5, Carly Kowalik, number 6, Hayden Zuniga, number 8, Julia Tucker, number 10, Desiree Morgas, who has been phenomenal for the Hounds this season, number 11, Naomi Abeta, number 13, Caitlin Schmidt, number 14, Kinsey Mitchell, number 19, Victoria Nunez, number 20, Mackenzie Mendez, and number 24, Selena Casillas, out there in support of the keeper Lane. Again, the Hounds, 2 conference wins on the year. The Rattlers right there as well, also 2 conference wins, so certainly an even matchup, and hoping that we can pull this one out here on a perfect senior day on the campus of St. Mary's, Sigma Beta Chi Field. Good crowd out here right now as Maldonado taps it to Malui, and we are underway. Rattlers trying to overcome that 1-0 loss yesterday to West Texas A&M, just the second time the club has fallen at home this season. The shot forward here by Dozier, runs it into the back line of the Greyhounds. Pressure coming, but a flag does go up, whistle comes out, and this is coming out as Page was pursuing the ball. Greyhounds, as we said, it was a hot start to the season for them. One of their keys to finding the wins, and something they did very well at the very outset of the season, was finding an early goal. We talked about it yesterday with West Texas A&M. Virtually unbeatable when they scored first. Eastern New Mexico maybe a little more vulnerable than unbeatable. If they get that first goal, though, they will certainly be a handful to overcome. Good steal by Bachelet, but then Whitaker gives it away. Looking for something to develop. It was taken away by Kowalik. Morgas, ever dangerous, top of the box, stifled. Whitaker able to help inch it out. Olson shoots it forward to Maldonado. Rattlers, I thought, did a good job yesterday of mostly keeping West Texas out of the box. Didn't give them a lot of clean shots. Got 20 off for the game, but only able to capitalize in the penalty, on the penalty inside of 30 minutes. Kirsten Lane, the 5'7" senior goalkeeper, picks that up. Sent forward by the Hounds, but Copeland, who had a really good game yesterday, marking Hannah Kelly Lusk, one of the stars in the Lone Star Conference, most of the day. Was able to bounce it forward, but out of bounds here. Greyhounds will take it. Mendez from Amarillo on the toss gets it right back. She is a former player at West Texas A&M. Put some helium in this. Bounced forward by Dozier in the middle. Maldonado, that's a great turn. Runs right past Mitchell. Able to recover and front the ball. Good idea here from Maldonado. Wanted a little give and go with the outside. Didn't quite materialize. Alexia looking for a big game here today. Had a chance or two, especially late there against West Texas A&M yesterday, and we will need her to be very dynamic up top to hopefully find an early lead and prevent Eastern New Mexico from moving into more of a defensive posture and certainly playing with a little more confidence. Eastern New Mexico, for the year, that record's not where they want it to be, but overall, under their head coach, Mr. Josh Smith, they are 11-0-0 in his career. That's 2 years at Eastern New Mexico when they can net that first goal of the game. Copeland snuffs this out. Rolled down toward Whitaker. Leah. Good move. Slotted it past Mendez. Leaves it for Bachelet on the overlap. Bachelet staves off Mendez. Calling for something to develop for her. Bachelet looking to turn with the left foot. Runs it into the right foot of Mendez. And she gets it out of trouble. Forward with Nunez. Streaking down the middle of the field now, Caitlin Schmidt. Disrupted partially. Fortunate bounce, though, toward Kowalik. Whitaker trying to cut her off. Decent center. Morgas was in the area, but that one's going to run out of bounds. Morgas has certainly proven to be one of the most effective in the Lone Star Conference this season. Entering this week, had recorded 9 points on 4 goals and 1 assist. So they will be looking for her up top, I'm sure, throughout the afternoon. Longford faced 20 shots, made 5 saves yesterday. And boots this long. Good bounce here for the Rattlers. Running onto it, Page. Forward, Maldonado. Here we go. Just about 4 into this game. Maldonado, that's wonderful. Maldonado! Disrupted at the gate, sliding out after it was Lane. Not sure if she got it or if it was one of the defenders, but Maldonado stifled in deep there. Olsen ends up with it about midfield. Good defense from Copeland to get it to her. Inflates the balloon out toward Bachelet. Couldn't quite control. And popped forward by Julia Tucker. Scooped up by Kowalik. Slotting here. Nunez cuts it back. Rattlers swarming. And coming up with it. Able to inch it out toward Whitaker. Good battle there by Adriana Smith. She played pretty well yesterday. Over the bar. The second chance for Eastern New Mexico ends up way high. Selena Casillas. Just a freshman from all the way up there in Maple Valley, Washington. A lot of heart up there in Maple Valley, Washington. At least that's what I've heard. It's a long way to come down here from the great state of Washington. Never have been up to the Pacific Northwest. Would absolutely love to. But hopefully they're listening up there in that fine state of Washington today. And we're happy to have you with us wherever you are tuning in from. And not just in the United States. We know we have some listeners around the globe tuning in on the entire Rattler Athletic Network. So thanks again for being with us here on KSAT 12 ABC. You know we love bringing it to you. Hard challenge there on the far side by Dozier. No nonsense about that. Olsen tries to pick up some loose change. Bottled toward the middle of the field. Great find here. Casillas saw something no one else did to Tucker. Centered toward Kowalik. Eased on to Morgas. She ended up on the grass, and the whistle was a little delayed, but it came out. Tough to stomach. Dozier not pleased. Looked like it was just outside of the box by a matter of perhaps inches, not even feet. And Dozier struggling to understand this one, shrugging the shoulders. She's gotten 1 caution on the year. their hard challenge. Extra pass toward Morgas as Eastern New Mexico tried to find just a little more daylight. Again, it was a call in the box. This one not here in the box, but it was the call in the box yesterday that ended up determining the outcome of the game. Von Morik, one of the defenders for West Texas, to her credit, did bury the penalty opportunity early in the second half to send West Texas A&M to its 5th Lone Star Conference victory. Angle against 5 in the wall, and it found its way through. Tough to stomach that there, too. Morgas buries it. And Eastern New Mexico has the lead at 1-0. 37:57 still to go here in the first half. Well, we said it yesterday. It's like grilling up zebra meat. It's tasty, but it's hard to stomach, isn't it? That's a pretty good shot there. Great angle, a lot on the wall, kept it low, minimized the chance that they would be able to block that. And you have to respect the shot, but unfortunately it is a 1-0 lead for Eastern New Mexico, now trying to go to 12-0-0 for Josh Smith in his head coaching career as the man at the helm for the Greyhounds when his team strikes first. Luckily, though, all the time in the world, and the Rattlers, you do have to think back to that win they had against Northwestern Oklahoma here in September. Went down 1-0 early, ended up winning that game 2-1. We had the golden goal against Midwestern State on the 10th. 0-0 going to overtime, but able to put in a late goal to win it. So this team certainly has the potential and the experience to maybe come back here against the Greyhounds. Tough thing to do, though, against a team that thrives on striking early. Morgas buries it. Now the Rattlers trying to respond. Bachelet trying to get this out of trouble. Chipped back. Copeland and picks it up, streaking out with it. Turnage there in a battle for it by Whitaker. She was in some foul trouble yesterday. I believe she ended up with 4. No whistle there. Mendez, who she was jostling with, tosses it in. On the break here, Tucker toward the end line. Bangs it into Smith. Cleared by Bachelet. Whitaker's got to run onto this. Trying to cut the angle was Nunez. Able to rip it away. Casillas in the middle. Tries her luck. Longford will toss a plastic bag around this like a carp loose in a mall fountain. It's called retail fishing. You go out there with a Walmart bag and a wooden stick when they get those fish loose in those mall fountains. Greyhounds thought this was theirs. It's their turn to be flummoxed. Rattlers will push up. Toss from deep. It sprung right to Olsen. Sticking on the outside. Rattlers have had that run by Maldonado, not a lot else, but still only about 9 minutes gone by. Disruption in the back there by Keeney trying to resuscitate Morgas, the goal scorer, who again came into this week with 4 under the belt. And putts this. Bachelet sniffing it out with ease. Intended for Tucker. Bachelet trying to get rid of it. Maldonado making a run, but this will run right into the waiting arms of Kirsten Lane. The senior from up there in Rochester, New York, went to Monroe Community College before heading to Eastern New Mexico. And 3 total shots right now for the Greyhounds, 2 of them on goal. Rattlers yet to muster a shot here. Malui Maldonado with the pressure. The swung to Hayden Zuniga from Sahuarita, Arizona, went to Walden Grove High School. Picked off in the back here by the Rattlers. Smith moving forward with it. Looks promising. Ends up on the foot of a Greyhound, though, before it could find its way to Maldonado. Out with it come the Greyhounds. Picked off as it runs across the timeline by Keeney. Sends it through the bowling alley. Dozier battling for it. And Dozier on the centering opportunity. Maldonado able to get it under control. Olsen quarterbacking. Chips it toward Whitaker. Behind her, that'll run into the box. And played by the Greyhounds. Whitaker moving up to apply the pressure. Mendez gets it loose. Hard battle here. Smith and Morgas. And Morgas Went to the ground, trying to chip away at the ball and the ankles. Whistled here. Men today at Midwestern State, showdown of two teams, both in the hunt for the national championship, as well, of course, as the Lone Star Conference Championship and the regional championship. Huge game for the Rattlers against Midwestern. Ladies here on senior day, honoring the 8 seniors. That ceremony will start a few minutes into halftime, and we will see if we can maybe remain live for at least part of it. Rattlers will hopefully be going out on a high note at home this season. Still 2 more home games to go, November 7th and November 9th against Texas Women's College as well as Dallas Baptist. That's the 7th and the 9th. Maldonado, clever, cut back. Lane, opening, left foot, hits it into a Greyhound defender. Smith trying to run onto it. And sandwiched out by a charging Kinsey Mitchell. Able to jar it loose toward the timeline. On the move with it, Nunez. And sent forward, picked up by Kowalik. Recycled back through Nunez against Bachelet. Wants her to go right. Off to the right she goes toward Tucker. Centering opportunity. It does leak through. Looked like it was off a Rattler head. And the corner will come. Dangerous here. Thought the Rattlers had a little trouble defending the crosses yesterday. There were a few corners that gave West Texas some opportunities. They did not capitalize on them, but had some clean looks. Looks like they will say this went off the Greyhounds. And out with it will come Longford. See if she can key some up here out to Whitaker. Getting it into the triangle. Smith back to Whitaker. Olsen middle of the field. Maldonado. Keeping a close eye on her has been number 14, Mitchell. Maldonado lets it breathe outside. Dozier. Something might develop here toward Malui. Headed back, still alive. Maldonado tries to punch it back into the box, but cleared there by Zuniga. It's Tucker with the putter toward Kowalik. Olsen in pursuit, ends up back with Tucker. She's from Burleson. Morgas, the goal scorer, on the free kick. Eases it into the middle. Turned back by Olsen. Getting a piece of it was Nunez. Runs toward the end line. Grabbed by Bachelet before it can find its way out. Malui. Mendez, plenty of pressure. There's Whitaker, nice overlapping run. She's on the move, being pursued tightly by Tucker. Tries to burst it back in the middle. And this one will end up on our stat-keeping tent. It'll go the way of Eastern New Mexico. Just about 14 minutes into it now. Rattlers playing yesterday, originally scheduled to play Thursday against West Texas. That one was postponed due to lightning and eventually a very, very powerful rainstorm here in San Antonio. Got moved to yesterday. This is the rare time that they'll play twice in 2 days, and we will see if the Rattlers have enough gas in the tank to come back here from this 1-0 deficit. Swung into the near corner here. And Tucker trying to run it down. Staving off Bachelet. And tough clearance there. Not getting enough of it was Copeland. Luckily, though, Smith bails out the Rattler defense. Once Maldonado touched it with the right foot. Zuniga cleans it up. And surfs it out. And starting the attack, Schmidt. Morgas decompresses it outside. Just seeing what's there. Greyhounds floated into the head of Keeney. Past Maldonado on the clearance. And scooped up by Zuniga. In the middle. Casillas pursued by Malui. Morgas off the feet upstairs from Nunez. Try to send it back. And Copeland denies it. Olsen on the outside, moves it to Dozier. And trying to go long, maybe for Maldonado, off the head of Zuniga. And Greyhounds setting the tone here, but not quite completely stamping this game as their own. Right now they've been a little stronger early, but some of these runs I think will materialize for the Rattlers. Bachelet and to Smith. Morgas again. That's her second foul. Lunging, reaching, hacking, and sending another Rattler to the ground here. Smith trying to hold her off, but we will go out with it. And might be the opportunity for the Rattlers to start to make this a little more of their game. Have to start connecting passes. Go a little more to the small ball here and see if we can string some together. Out to Olsen. Maldonado in the middle. All over her is Kinsey. Slips there, though. Maldonado trying to keep battling. And stolen away, though, by Tucker. Smith. Malui trying to bottle. They will go back through lane. Goalkeeping certainly a strong point this year for Eastern New Mexico. That runs long. Good work there by Whitaker to keep the pressure up against Mendez. Malui. Whitaker scoops it up after Malui disrupted. And toward the near corner. And Tucker chips out. Bachelet trying to pressure Morgas. And gone will be the opportunity for the Rattlers for the time being. Out with it, Eastern New Mexico. Mendez on the toss, loose in the middle. Olsen trying to claim it. Rattlers have not been able to mount a lot of control in the middle of the field. Olsen here, space. Trying to touch it through. Run there. Disrupted. How about that from Maldonado, though? Excellent job to battle. Can we catch him on the heels? Maldonado wanted that to scoot all the way through, maybe to Whitaker. And pulled away, though, by Mendez. Sent forward to Morgas. Copeland has to get back. Does a great job there. And Morgas, that's going to be a third foul on her. All of them similar. She has been right in the thick of a number of battles. And continues with the tripping efforts here. She's got a goal, 3 fouls. Name all over the game right now. 26 and change still to go before the sheep noise is played and we go to half. Rattlers will send on the first sub here, Mackenzie Rich. Another sub, looks like she'll join her as well. 2 waiting for the Rattlers. Bachelet bops it away. Running back toward it was Malui. Picked up by Lauren after a good challenge by Adriana. Maldonado to Lauren. Mendez intercepts this. Jarred toward Morgas off her noggin. Sent forward by Tucker. Good challenge by Whitaker. Still, though, it finds its way to Kowalik. Copeland trying to make her life difficult. Recirculated back toward Nunez. Olsen had it go through the feet. Copeland taps it away. In the far back. Inched out by Keeney. On the move now, Rattlers, though. Stifled as Zuniga steps through this. Wants to carry it, trying to get past Smith. Dozier trying to help to recover. Zuniga on the far side. Toward Morgas. Looks for the flick. Not there. Longford will scoop it up. No trouble. The Eastern New Mexico defense doing a great job right now to step through some of these Rattler attacks. Not wanting to get caught, leaning back toward their own goal. The shot was the 6th of the game for Eastern New Mexico off that chance created by Zuniga. Out shooting the Rattlers right now, 6-1, 3-0 on goal. Longford with a pair of saves. Also allowed the free kick goal to Morgas early in this one. Top of the box, Copeland able to take away, and now the Rattlers have to push. Maybe a touch slow here, getting loose. Defense has to become offense. It looked like Eastern New Mexico was going to lag getting back. How about this run right here, though? Maldonado using the speed. She's got Olsen. Oh, and just high, just wide. Maldonado creating, and Olsen and close right there. Trail run to the top of the box. Had a chance right there and couldn't quite finish. 3 subs on for St. Mary's. Torrey Permillion, Alessandra Rivera, Mackenzie Rich into the game. Smith and Whitaker. And plus one more out here for the Rattlers. Fresh legs. Bachelet to Malui. Gets it to Permillion, slotted in the middle. Just into the Greyhound defense, though. And that was Gabby Olsen, who just missed on the shot. The other subbed out for the Rattlers, creating the best opportunity of the game, though, so far with Maldonado. And I do believe at some point one of these will materialize. Narrow miss. And actually looks like Olsen is still in, so we are still looking here for the... And correct on the substitute coming out, but we will look for that. I'm sure that here shortly it will materialize for the Rattlers. I'm sure that opportunity will come. Just have to be a little more aggressive, getting out, transitioning defense to offense. Sub here coming for Eastern New Mexico. Victoria Nunez out. Josefina Villa in here for the Greyhounds of Eastern New Mexico. Taking a time, about 21:45 still to go in the half. Mendez, the West Texas A&M transfer, going to boot this loose. Malui gets ahead on it. Back in the middle, and Lane marshaling the forces, saying, "I'll take that." Lane with the boot loose. Olsen deflects it toward, or pardon, Malui deflects it toward Olsen. Out on the outside, Dozier. Trying to get it back, couldn't quite run on to it. She'll accept a gift here from Zuniga. In the middle, Olsen dropped it back to Maldonado, stifled. Olsen picks it up from the outside, jarred toward the box. Maldonado trying to be pesky. And clearance, way out to Morgas. Rich gets in the way of that. Rich still pursuing toward the timeline. The snake toward Villa. Rattlers rip it away. Malui over the top. Oh, Maldonado. Touch with the head. Maldonado! Mostaza! Opening this one up like a sack of prairie dog stuffing in a taxidermy office. Holy moly! 20:30 to go. Still in the half. We are tied here in San Antonio. My word. It's like watching a miniature golf championship on that one. Is it going to go in? Or is it going to trickle out of the hole? I'll tell you, those miniature golf championships, watch out. Those things, now that's drama. Some people would say Shakespeare, Edward Albee, those kind of drama or real drama, but I'll watch a miniature golf championship every now and then and won't be able to sleep for several days. Oh, what a play. What a goal from Ms. Maldonado. Incredible on the shot. Good creation over the top. One touch with the head. Does not look like there will be an official assist given on that because she did create the shot herself with the head. But heck of a goal. I think it was Malui who set that one up. Just double checking on that here. Malui there on the chip, and it was indeed Lawrence, so credit her there off the post. Greyhounds trying to respond too quickly. And that's what the medal is for. That is why it is there. Second post that has helped us out in as many games. Opportunity there for Kowalik. And send it off the pole to keep us level at 1-1. Eastern New Mexico trying to respond. And the Rattlers certainly will have their work cut out for them in the last 20 here of this first half. We do now have Michael Williams into the game for Ashley Dozier. So trying to provide some support there on that far side. Williams hopefully will be able to help hold this level at least before we get to half. Maldonado, though, tremendous goal, and very happy for her, helping to create quite a bit. She's given them some problems up top here in this one. The senior from Helotes, Texas, here on Senior Day, netting her 5th goal of the season, and one of her best, really. Had to create, again, credit Malui for the setup, but credit Maldonado for having the wherewithal to tap that with the head and then somehow caterpillar it into the back of the net. Really the side of it, but hey, side of the net, back of the net, as long as it's a net, as the folks who started Internet Explorer were known to say in the early days of that company. Malui dancing with it here, gets it to Olsen. Olsen eases it on. Bachelet. It's a pretty good find toward Permillion. Centering, and Lane has to toss a bucket of water on the fire. That's wonderful from Bachelet and Permillion. And Torrey is staying with it and testing Lane. It's tough to score against this Eastern New Mexico club. For this season, they've been pretty sharp in terms of defensive efforts. Offense hasn't really gone crazy for them this year, but you look at what their scoring margin is, 17-14. And this is their 13th game of the season, scoring margin 17-14. So certainly their defense has given them a chance. Only average about a goal a game, though, and just to get one through against their keepers is a tall task. So to get in the first half is a huge momentum boost for the Rattlers. Williams scoops this up, jars it. Olsen. And to Malui. And pump faking a couple of times, has it stolen though by the Greyhounds. Out with it now. And comes Permillion. Maldonado trying to chip it back into the gumball machine. Dispensed by the Greyhounds, though, outside. Grabbing that Schmidt. Recirculates it through the back. Zuniga helping to chip over the top. Copeland got a hit on it. Bachelet couldn't quite clear. Left outside the box. Tucker. And grabs it. Rattler defense does a good job to parry the effort. Had him play it back through Mendez. Rivera trying to chase one down. Morgas gets a hit on it toward the top of the box. Dangerous. And luckily, the helium machine comes out for Kowalik. Keeney couldn't quite clear, and Kowalik, who just hit the post about 4 minutes ago, sends that one skyward to at least help us catch our breath a little bit. Maluhi out. In comes number 10, Serena Frank. Just about this time every half, she'll come in 15-20 to go, and usually provides a good spark offensively. See if maybe she can get us that go-ahead goal. Olsen out of the middle. And Frank with her first touch of this game. Looking to push it toward the far flag. Picked off, but Maldonado restarts a party here. Hits it off the back of Rich. Comes to get it again. Now Maldonado looking to deposit something to Olsen. Rattlers starting to string things together. Frank back to Maldonado. Alexia, wonderful left foot. Laser hits a mirror and bounces back. Taken by Morgas on the far side. Copeland steps through. And ultimately, she's going to be cited for a foul in midfield, ending up on the grass. Number 21, Villa, the freshman from Montevideo, Uruguay. Took a tumble there, and again, it's tough to stomach. Charging through. Copeland looking like she was going to help create out of the back, but cited for a foul. Right now, in terms of fouls, it is even 3-3. I do believe all three have gone to Morgas, the goal scorer for Eastern New Mexico. More varied here for the Rattlers. Copeland just booting this. Tucker picks it up and swings it to the far side of the field. About 13:50 until half. We've got the Senior Day ceremony honoring our 8 seniors here today. That'll start a few minutes into the halftime break, which should run about 15 total minutes. We'll take a break, come back with the live play-by-play about a minute before that second half begins. Here you go, Frank trying to burst through there. Mitchell was a little indecisive, ultimately decides just to boot it out of bounds. Opportunity maybe brewing for Frank. Von Halle going to come on here. This is Kylie Von Halle for Maldonado, the goal scorer. With about 13 to go. Vermillion on the toss. Right to the ground, gives it to Bachelet. Return effort, Vermillion. Slotting. Good work by Frank to control. Rivera, middle of the field, some options. Wanted a cut from Rich. Blocked, though, by the Greyhound back line. Eastern New Mexico, they haven't played great as of late, but are coming off a W a couple of days ago against Texas A&M International down there in Laredo. That's where West Texas A&M went after yesterday's game here at Sigma Beta Chi Field. Bachelet with the help of Olsen taking one away here. Touch to Vermillion. Through Bachelet into the middle. Olsen out to Williams. Williams trying to make the run there for Rich. Stolen by the Greyhounds. No whistle as an Eastern New Mexico player goes down toward the middle of the field. Steal here out of the back. Mendez pushing. Rattler defense doesn't bend. Frank back toward the middle. Challenged by Casillas. Tried to send it forward, and it was picked off with ease by Zuniga. Morgas on the turn. Olsen trying to get back. Morgas almost lost the balance. Recovers. Gives to Zuniga. Runs that one into Rivera. Williams doing away with the last of the opportunity for the Greyhounds. Olsen looking to send it forward. Banged it right into the head of Casillas. Scooped by Von Halle. Von Halle got it forward. Centering effort by Williams. Ended up with the Greyhounds. It's booted out of bounds. Falling as she did it there in the middle was the defender Mitchell. Rattlers can push forward here. Plenty of time here in the first half. Maldonado on the bench. It'll be up to someone else to create and score. Looks like Victoria Villasenor is going to come on here, and Olsen will get a little rest. It's for the Rattlers. 2 subs as well here for the Greyhounds.
Victoria Villasenor. In for Gabby Olsen. Greyhounds, number 18, J.C. Stevens.
Bachelet has that one deflected. Scoots toward the middle. Bounced out, though, by the Greyhounds. Good takeaway in the middle of the field here on her first touch from Villasenor. Recirculated through Copeland. And off the right foot of Permillion, out of bounds. Elevated. Bouncing toward the corner, ripped away by Copeland. Burst through by Permillion, momentum on her side. Tipped as she tried to move it forward. Stolen away by the Greyhound back line. Booted by Tucker. Megan steps through it and gets it outside to Williams. Greyhounds on the takeaway. Off that boot out by Williams. Mitchell pushes it to Mendez, trying to get it in the middle of the field. Greyhounds probably a little bit better in the middle of the field so far, but the Rattlers trying to make up for it. There's Frank. Good idea here. Von Holly challenged hard, and she is sent rudely to the ground. Wow. Quite a fight right there, no doubt about that. And irate here is Hayden Zuniga. She can't believe that the whistle came out. And some of her teammates helping to make her case. And that looked like it was in the box. They ended up outside the box, but it looked like the pushing was coming in the box. And this should be a penalty here with about 8.5 to go for the Rattlers. And the card comes out. Zuniga's got it now. And I think this is for the vociferous protestations as much as for what was a clear push here. Just bulldozed over Von Holly, who's rewarded as the one to take the penalty right now. 1-1 game. 8:13 is where the official game clock does stop. Von Holly trying to help us capitalize for the second time in the last 13 minutes. 8:36 is going to be the official time. They'll reset the clock here before the penalty. That is 8:36 still left in the first half. So it would be the second time now in the last 12 minutes that the Rattlers have capitalized if Von Holly is able to drill this. Wow. You're good. Kylie Von Holly trying to send the Rattlers to a 2-1 lead. Dunking it like a pocket full of Twinkies at an introductory swim class. No doubt about it. Fool's Lane, and that's it. A win now in sight here for the Rattlers. 2-1. Completely expelling the early goal by the Greyhounds. A lot of game to go. Just over 8.5 left in the first half, but the win is certainly a great possibility now for the Rattlers. 2 subs. Tyann Piercy and Alexis Lawrence on here for the Rattlers after Von Holly buries that. Just an outstanding job today by the Rattlers to overcome an early goal by Eastern New Mexico. Usually that is a death knell for their opponents, but here on senior day is certainly some magic for the Rattlers. That's the second goal of the season for Von Holly, who moves to 4 points. So Maldonado with her 5th with 20.5 to go. And with about 8.5 to go in the first half, Von Holly, after being fouled hard by Zuniga, is able to capitalize and make this 2-1. Didn't try to get too fancy. Beat Lane, and that was it for what was left of that first goal for Eastern New Mexico. They are certainly not used to this, but watch out, they have hit a post since scoring that opening goal, and I'm sure Morgas, who's been very, very pesky and can find the back of the net, will factor into this game, factor into the rest of this half and into the second half. From the timeline, restart here for Eastern New Mexico. Finds the head of Copeland. Defense trying to get it out. Piercy trying to control on the far side. And touches it back. Williams working against some Eastern New Mexico pressure, trying to zip it forward. And this is ruled out of bounds. Greyhounds on the toss. Most recent foul did come against Piercy. That set up that free kick. Each team now 4 fouls. And 3 shots on goal to 2 right now. Eastern New Mexico leading that category, leading in shots overall 8-6. But after that penalty was the undoing of the Rattlers yesterday, wouldn't it be fitting if perhaps the penalty today were to be the thing that propels the squad to a victory on Senior Day? You got to think it's a distinct possibility. 2-1 game. Rattlers more in control over the last 15 to 20. Greyhounds trying to break out of the doldrums. Good step through there and a takeaway by Villasenor. Forward, Von Holly. Von Holly toward Villasenor. Lane picks up a grass stain and sends one of her defenders tumbling. Contact looked incidental. Lane slow to get up though. Josh not happy on the sidelines here for Eastern New Mexico. Head coach wanting the refereeing crew to blow a whistle there. Villasenor, I don't think that was too much contact on Lane. Tumbling over though was Mitchell. Lane going to get a chance to boot it away here. And perhaps some sort of feelings about the call on the penalty. Now, that one was pretty easy to make. Zuniga was the one who was ultimately cited with the card in that sequence. She tries to swing it here. You could tell Zuniga just wasn't playing the ball on that challenge in the corner against Von Holly and ended up just steamrolling her. The question, I think, was only whether it was in the box or out of it. And it looked like the foul came in the box, though they both tumbled out of it. I think the referees got the call right on the penalty. Williams bad clearance. Morgas set up. And Morgas goes Adam Vinatieri. Can't have that in the back if you're the Rattlers. A little trouble clearing yesterday. I think a lot of it had to do with the wind that was just so harsh in the first half, blowing toward the goal we're defending now. But just not the cleanest on the clearances. Got to focus on stringing it together and then pushing up and pushing out. Here as we get toward the second half. And Greyhounds, they have still threatened. Von Holly trying to run one down in the circle. And poked outside though by Zuniga. Setting a hot air balloon. Copeland heads that forward. Frank trying to scoop it up. And bounces here to Lawrence. Stop and go in the middle. Rivera to Frank. And stolen away by the Greyhound back line before it could really materialize. Tucker trying to slot here as we get to less than 4 to go in the half. Morgas pinballs it on, ends up in the middle. Something dangerous here. And too much on the altitude for Descamp. Lauren Descamp. As that one opened in the middle for Julia Tucker. Made a run. Descamp got it and just sorted over the bar. Dangerous again. Greyhounds. They will keep bringing the pressure, but outside of the first quarter or so of this season, they have had problems finding the back of the net. Team just has not really put together a ton of huge scoring efforts this year. Even a 1-goal deficit. If Longford plays well and the defense is able to clear, stay efficient, then it will be a real challenge for this Greyhounds team to erase what suddenly is a deficit for them. Lawrence really having a battle there with Tucker, and Tucker got her ankles. That 3-goal outburst that we were telling you about against Texas A&M International on the 24th, that was Thursday. They did score 3 goals, Eastern New Mexico, but that came in 2 overtime periods. Won it on a golden goal in 2 overtimes. You look at their last 5 results prior to the win against Texas A&M International. Lost 1-0 on the 5th against A&M Commerce. Lost 4-0 against Dallas Baptist. 3-1 against Texas Women's College. 2-1 against St. Edwards, and 1-0 against Angelo State. So of the 5 previous games prior to Thursday, not a single one of them had more than 1 goal. And for Eastern New Mexico, it just has been a problem putting it into the back of the net. Shots have been good, not great. Still have had their chances. 158 overall, 70 on goal coming into play today. Get about 6 or 7 on goal a game. Do have 8 shots in this opening half. Lawrence ultimately able to grab this, go to Piercy. In the middle, hard challenges, now the norm for the Greyhounds. $1.15 still on the game clock here in the first half. Frank might have a chance here with Williams. Good find. Bench has been urging the Rattlers to go to that far side of the field since the second goal. And a good job here by Williams to work a corner. Hits it off a Greyhound defender, and the Rattlers, I think, will take the time here. 54 seconds to go in the half. Might as well just make sure that this is the final opportunity if we can here. Corbin Rich saying you've got time. That's a good corner off the head of Von Holly into the Greyhound defense. Second opportunity and almost. Good push there by Rivera into the box. I thought that might have been tipped before it went out of bounds. Referees will say no. A little bit wide. And the Greyhounds will boot it out with just 10 seconds to go. This is going to take us to half, though this is sent right out of bounds. Rattlers will just let it run. It's done here in the first half. 2-1, Rattlers with the lead. Phenomenal first half for St. Mary's. Went down 1-0 on the goal by Morgas. Maldonado, and then the penalty by Von Holly helping us to get the lead. We'll take the break. Senior ceremony will start in a few minutes. Rattlers lead 2-1. Here against Eastern New Mexico, this is Rattler Athletics on the Rattler Athletic Network and KSAT 12, ABC.
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can. And then they push harder, because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path.
In Leon
we
Valley,
become champions on our terms.
advanced online from the fun, conveniently located Jason's Deli Restaurants.
We're here to
For a
discover
fresh,
ourselves,
affordable deal
our
anytime.
vision,
Also, Jason's
heart,
Deli can fulfill any and all catering needs with
to
as
achieve
little
every
as
goal
same-day notice.
because we want to be
Deli,
champions at the
the
highest level.
official sandwich
At
of
Division II,
Rattler
the
Soccer.
opportunities are here. Are you ready?
And fans can't get enough of those rattlers. Don't forget,
Corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions.
And to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable. Before the storm rolls in, expect the KSAT Storm Chaser to be rolling out. With our new mobile weather station, expect live storm tracking from both our studio and the road.
Expect updates and warnings straight from the storm.
And on KSAT.com, expect our roof cam to be streaming live. Protect your family with a new level of local team coverage. Your weather authority, KSAT 12 and the Storm Chaser. Expect more.
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions.
And to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable. Before the storm rolls in, expect the KSAT Storm Chaser to be rolling out. With our new mobile weather station, expect live storm tracking from both our studio and the road.
Expect updates and warnings straight from the storm.
And on KSAT.com, expect our roof cam to be streaming live. Protect your family with a new level of local team coverage. Your Weather Authority, KSAT 12 and the Storm Chaser. Expect more.
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions.
And to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable. Before the storm rolls in, expect the KSAT Storm Chaser to be rolling out. With our new mobile weather station, expect live storm tracking from both our studio and the road.
Expect updates and warnings straight from the storm.
And on KSAT.com, expect our roof cam to be streaming live. Protect your family with a new level of local team coverage. Your Weather Authority, KSAT 12 and the Storm Chaser. Expect more.
strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can. And then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Network as well as KSAT 12 ABC. Joey Zandaboni, the mailman, out here for you. It's the Rattlers and the Greyhounds of Eastern New Mexico. Quite a game that we have on our hands. After just one total goal in yesterday's game against West Texas A&M, we've got 3 here today. The opener was by Morgas at the 6:51 mark of the first half. That was her 6th this season. Alexia Maldonado responded about 17 minutes later. She got her 5th goal, and Lauren Malui was ultimately credited with an assist on that. Kylie Von Holly, about 10 minutes later, put in the go-ahead goal after being fouled by Zuniga. Zuniga got the only card of the first half, and the Rattlers emerged from it with a 2-0 lead, despite, or pardon, a 2-1 lead, despite being outshot 10-7. Again, 2-1 is our score, as the Greyhounds look to mount certainly a furious attack here in the second half. Not accustomed to losing that early first goal lead, and I'm sure they will come out with flames in the cleats here. Down by 1, Rattlers keeper Erin Longford, one of our 8, honored during halftime at the senior ceremony. She had 2 saves. Ended up facing 10 total shots. Greyhounds did not have a corner in the first half. Rattlers got our first corner with less than a minute to go in the first half, so not a lot of corners in the game. But overall, very, very exciting and very evenly matched. The Eastern New Mexico squad did control it for 59% of the time. 41% of the possessions were the Rattlers. The Greyhounds did outshoot us on target 3-2, but the Rattlers better at capitalizing. Trouble here. Longford, great play. One of the best ever here at St. Mary's. Sent Kowalik to the grass in the process of going after the ball. Excellent work by Longford. And it would be wonderful for her to get the W on senior day. One of the all-time leaders in saves, minutes. As the keeper here for the Rattlers. How about Maldonado? She's got one goal here today. Trying to spin one, and it was handed down. It was handed down. This is a familiar scene. Believe it was Mendez who got the hand on it. And she and Mitchell in the area. See who it officially goes on in a moment. But Maldonado with another chance here to add to her memorable senior day. I thought it'd be her to take it. Looks like there will be a switch, though. And it looks like it's going to be Maluhi who's going to take it, but way behind the play in the Rattler net. Longford shaken up after that collision with Kowalik. Defenders checking on her, and now the training staff and coaching staff will do the same. Corwin as well as Adam heading out. Well, Smith is certainly not happy on the Eastern New Mexico side. Again, I believe it was Mendez who got the hand on it. And penalty will come after Longford is checked out with 42:57 to go here in the second half. Will be the second penalty of this game for the Rattlers, and a chance to maybe put this one out of reach here early in the second period. Longford is on the feet. Doubled over, though, with the hands on the knees, looking like she'll stay in the game at this point. Of course, Cameron Corner would be the one to come in behind her if Longford is unable to remain. And it looks like Longford actually is heading toward the sideline, limping here. Favoring the left foot, looks like it's the right leg that has been injured, and Corwin is saying it will be a switch at keeper here. Longford again, one of the 8 seniors honored at halftime. Tremendous group, and she has been a mainstay from Cedar Park, Texas. Name all over the St. Mary's record book. She is replaced here by the sophomore from Friendswood, Cameron Corner, coming into this one. Longford again, believe she was shaken up in that hard challenge against Kowalik. Down behind the play, and it'll be Maluhi who tries to capitalize here, looking for her 4th goal of the season, looking to convert our second penalty of the game against Lane. 2-1 for the moment. And Eastern New Mexico bench is still wanting a word here with the refereeing crew. Saying that maybe Maldonado pushed before the hand. Certainly the coaching staff for Eastern New Mexico is far from content with the refereeing, but quick reminder, we are all doing our laundry in the same washing machine after the game. Mostaza! I will never betray you! 3-1, St. Mary's leads. 4th goal of the year for Maluhi, and we're feeling good up here today, aren't we? Victory, I'm not going to say it's assured, but it feels pretty gosh darn good right now. I'll tell you. Oh, boy. It would take quite the effort for an Eastern New Mexico club to come back from this. They have struggled to score this season, and as we are wont to say, it's not quite in the refrigerator yet, but we've got it in some high-grade Tupperware. This is the kind of Tupperware that's $3.75 rather than that 99-cent stuff you see at the store. 2-goal lead, and everybody feeling good. Still very upset there on the sideline is the head man for this Eastern New Mexico club, Joshua Smith, who is assisted by David Knuthia and Josie Matlick, really having it out with the refereeing crew there. about some shoving prior to the handball. Obviously, the call went St. Mary's way, and it's just unfamiliar territory for Smith. Oh, how about this run by Whitaker? Oh, it's off the middle! Whitaker and Lane involved in a collision, and ultimately the loose change is tossed off the countertop, but Whitaker is down. Oh, wow. When it rains, it pours, and that one was angled. I felt like I was when I go bowling, and you are just bending and seeing if it'll hit the pins. I was contorted up here in the press box thinking that one might go in. Hit off the middle, but more of a concern here is Whitaker being down after that hard collision. Lane came out to try to disrupt. And the Rattler coaching staff back on the field for the second time in the last minute. And training staff out there as well. Whitaker really shaken up by that. We do hope she's all right.
Shaking up like Taylor Swift.
Whitaker is going to get to her feet. This is a fan submission on this one. Shaken up like Taylor Swift. There it is. That's from Caleb Turner here in the press box. And would not have used that one if it was a more serious situation. But as soon as Whitaker gets to her feet. You're going to have to put the rest of them in writing here, Caleb. Whitaker to her feet, but off the field and under her own power, looking like she is all right. Just hits that one off the middle. The posts have factored into this game again. Remember, Eastern New Mexico hit the post shortly after it became 1-1 on the Maldonado goal. Kowalik hit the post with about 20 to go in the first half, and if that had found its way in, we might be looking at a completely different game. Obviously, if Whitaker's goes in there. Then this one is signed, sealed, delivered. Malui disrupts here, trying to help take it away from Morgas. Eastern New Mexico flaring it to the far side. Morgas trying to poke it through the slot, and Bachelet just comes through to hammer that away. 41-25 to go. Still a lot of time for the Greyhounds, but they've got their work cut out. Zuniga tries her luck. It was taken out of the air by Copeland. Looked like the Greyhounds wanted a hand on that. A couple of incredulous looks being directed toward our crew in those yellow jerseys. Malui out of the gumball machine. Touched it toward Olsen. Stolen away. Quick turnage toward Descamp. Putted to Kowalik. Trying to split the defense. Good recovery in the back by Keeney. Loose, Dozier. The senior able to tow it out of bounds. And I think maybe the Rattler defense was a little late recovering there. Dozier did get to it, but I think they thought that was going to be out of bounds. No harm done, though, as Smith takes it away from Morgas. Sent forward toward Maldonado. Oh, here we go. Zuniga tried to center it. Maldonado took it away. Ultimately, though, snuffed out by Mitchell, who does the recovering. Good work to challenge these defenders today by Maldonado. She has certainly given them plenty to contend with. She's got the only non-penalty goal of the day for the Rattlers. Von Halle and Malui, and capitalizing on the penalties here today. Malui, the senior, getting in on the scoring action. Von Halle, the sophomore, got the penalty in the first. Malui adds the penalty shortly into the second. Vermillion gives chase. And Greyhounds triangulated toward Morgas, stepping through Dozier to jar it toward midfield. Zuniga plays it back toward Mitchell, runs all the way to Lane. Lane, the ever-dependable keeper for the Greyhounds. It's just been tough for her, facing 2 penalties today, and hard to ask your keeper to turn both of them away to keep you in the game. A foul on the Rattlers. Restart. Penalty win against Bachelet. Laser here. Turned away by the head of Keeney. Malui in the middle. Heads forward to Maldonado. Able to volley it down. Olsen looking for clearance. Vermillion run on the outside. Sends it in the corner. Maldonado not quite able to run in on this. And Caitlin Schmidt was disrupting Vermillion. Had the idea to go to the corner, but tough to get that one to come together. Olsen out of the air, able to put this in the vault. Smith outside to Dozier. Bad first touch, ripped away. Stepping through it, Schmidt against Keeney here. Schmidt on Keeney. Good work by Keeney. Schmidt touched it off of her boot, but I think it was already out. Greyhound saying no, it was not. This will be a goal kick for corner. Good job by Riley there. Corner is still untested since coming in about 2 minutes into the second half for the injured Longford. 2 players injured for the Rattlers in the first few minutes of the second half. Still not even 8 gone by in it. Do believe Whitaker will have the opportunity, though, to come back in. Whitaker, just moments after the penalty, made it 3-1. Hit one off the post, collided with the goalie, as well as with the Greyhound defender. Able to exit and look pretty spry doing it. Out of the gutter, Greyhounds. Send it forward. Copeland sends it back. Intended target there was Descamp. Into the game now for Eastern New Mexico. Going to be number 11, Naomi Abeta, the 5'5" senior out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, went to St. Pius X High School. She checks in for Caitlin Schmidt. Just stifled on that opportunity by Keeney. Toss, far side, just about midfield. They try to go to Descamp again. Sent in the air by Mendez. Off the head of Smith, settled down by Olsen. Wants to go to the opposite side. Smith toward Vermillion, didn't get it cleanly. Picked by Nunez. Keeney trying to keep her on the outside. Nunez, well wide. Keeney again, doing a good job to contain. Boot not even close to being on frame. 35-35, still to go regulation. 3-1 here on Senior Day. Rattlers trying to put out the 3-game losing streak, get a 4th win at home this season with still 2 to go here at Sigma Beta Chi Field. Some great seniors being honored today. Aaron Longford, Ashley Dozier, Leah Whitaker, Lauren Malui, Abigail Page, Adriana Smith, Olivia Bachelet. The seniors up and down this roster here today for the St. Mary's Rattlers, and hoping they can get a W in front of the fans. This deflected, a weak shot though. Easy enough for corner. And Tucker tried to roll it into the danger zone and picked up by Cameron Corner, who sends it out. Bachelet on the move. Bachelet puts it in a canoe down the river toward Maldonado. Ends up tapped out on that far side. Rattlers will keep it going toward Maldonado after Mitchell sent it out. And this time off the Rattlers. The substitutions brewing, it looks like here. Greyhounds trying to send someone on. It's Taylor Fogel, freshman midfielder from Frisco, Texas, on here for a fellow freshman, Selena Casillas. Rattlers, good job to take away. More in control, middle of the field here in the second. Smith wanted per million right there and had it just out of her reach. Everything's got to be fast here for Eastern New Mexico. Coming down the stretch, still about 33 to go, but they really are going to have to put the pedal to the metal. Ball club that came in today averaging 1.08 goals per game. They will need to put a lot of gasoline on the fire here in a hurry. Rattlers just trying to stay composed. Trying to stay aggressive. That's wonderful from Bachelet. Great idea, but just a little bit long there to Page down that far side. And Bachelet, so dangerous out of the back. A little mustard on it. And sent it long. Olsen chips it forward to Maldonado. Maldonado gets it back. Lexia trying to center. It was tipped, volleyed away. Smith off of her knee. Gets a roll toward Olsen. Wanted per million. Still not out of trouble here. Zuniga having problems volleying it out. Malui disrupts, drops back to per million. And per million gives it a plane ride. Well high. Good work, though, to keep the pressure up, though, from the Rattlers. And two subs here waiting for St. Mary's. Pair coming on. Von Holly, who's got a goal. Plus Mackenzie Rich, and it looks like actually two more as well. Serena Frank, Alessandra Rivera coming in. Host of substitutes. Rattlers trying to keep the momentum, moving left to right. Zuniga zips it on the ground. And turn with it by Fogel. Descamp trying to keep it alive on the near sideline, ends up out. Dozier on the catapult. Skips forward. Olsen able to run onto it. Little get and go with Von Holly. Tic-tac-toe game. Erased, though. Sent toward the far corner. Williams will tap that with the heel. Looking for a little space. Tries to roll it forward. Gets it right back. Swung here. Out of the middle. Keeney wants to go over the top for Von Holly. Pretty good ball. Von Holly not quite ready for it. Rolls all the way toward Lane. Von Holly maybe thought that back middle, Mitchell was disrupting her. No call, though. Good challenge. Far side by Mac Rich. Rip away here, and Williams went down. Zuniga leaves it for Descamp. Williams still slow getting up on that far side about midfield. Greyhounds luckily can't string anything together. Rivera helping to disrupt. Still on the move. Descamp. Olsen tumbles to the ground, trying to take it away, and wow. They're going to get Olsen for the foul here. Surprising on that. Williams back on her feet after taking a tumble. sent to the ground and was slow getting up. But back on her feet and trying to help defensively here on these set piece. Remember that set piece by Morgas. 6:51 into the game gave the Greyhounds the early lead. Since then, it's been all Rattlers. Morgas against 4 on the wall here. Different keeper now for the Rattlers. Corner. Morgas fires and fires it high. Went on the ground with the goal. Puts that one just over the bar. Decent shot from straight on from the offensive engine for these Greyhounds, who will sub here. They are going to the bench. J.C. Sievers coming on, Victoria Nunez off. Corner plays it short. Keeney spins it outside. Dozier gets it to Olsen. Couldn't control. Zuniga hammers one forward. Olsen trying to string something together here with Permillion. Not quite there, though. Serve forward by Abeda. Descamp starts it in the middle of the field. It ends up with Tucker. And trying her luck. Ran that one off the golf course. Into the rough. Corner is going to take it. Booted out here for the Rattlers. The same areas. Again, wrapping up the home schedule November 7th and 9th against Texas Women's College and Dallas Baptist. The men are back here on the 31st. That's the next time we will be on KSAT 12 ABC, as well as the Rattler Athletic Network. That is Halloween this Thursday. Come in costume, and you will perhaps be featured here on KSAT 12 ABC. I have promised to come as a giant burlap sack. And there's a lot of people, when you come as a burlap sack, they think that you should pull the opening over your head and just have it sort of descend to your feet. I actually am going the other way. I have a drawstring on the top of the burlap sack, so I'll be climbing into it and using the drawstring to kind of enclose myself in it during the broadcast. I will have eye holes and a mouth hole. No nose hole, though, on that burlap sack costume. So certainly your work will be cut out for you to top that. Frank jostling for it there against Tucker, and Smith, the head coach for Eastern New Mexico, has been extraordinarily frustrated. Protesting there, wanted the call, got it. Tucker is going to fall away from the ball. She was the one taken down. It'll be Taylor Fogel who is the one to fire the second free kick on a good angle from just outside the box, just about this distance in the last couple of minutes. 3 on the wall now for the Rattlers. How does Fogel want to play this? Does she just try to get it up in the air, see if anybody can get the head on it? Zuniga, among others, on that far side here for the Eastern New Mexico side. Got it toward Tucker, and Tucker with a touch across the top of the box and sends that one over the bar. So 2 free kicks from just about 10 yards outside the box. Both end up over the bar, though. It was a little bit of a different fashion that they ended up high on the second one. A little bit different than the first. Frank was assessed a yellow card for the takedown there of Tucker. Tucker ends up getting a shot out of it. That was the 15th of the game for Eastern New Mexico. Still at 4 on goal versus 3 on goal for St. Mary's. The substitution as Alexis Lawrence comes on for Tori Permillion. And Tucker stepping through one here. Leaves it toward the middle of the field. Jarred away by the Rattler defense. Tucker will get it some oxygen outside. 25 and change. Do feel like the Greyhounds are keeping us on our heels a little bit more. Easy enough for Corner to grab this. Rattlers started the game, you could tell this team is fired up, ready to go, and they've kept pretty good energy up to this point. Would hate to see it go slack here in the final minutes with this game seemingly in the crosshairs for a victory. To make it 4 wins at home this season, 3 in Lone Star Conference play. Certainly this club is right on the cusp. Do have to finish though. Morgas touches Descamp. Stifled. Olsen, wonderful. Springs it, Von Holly. Touched back. And through lane by Abeta. And chip out to the head of Olsen. Grab by Rivera. Back to Olsen. Pocket opens up. Von Holly. Looking to curl. Greyhound's not making it easy. Von Holly. Stopped up there by Fogel. And Tucker bottled. Sent back through Abeta. All the way here to Keeney. Goes through Copeland. 23-43 left in regulation. 2-goal lead for the Rattlers. Despite being outshot by a pretty good margin. 16-9. On goal now 5-3 after that soft bouncer by Mendez ended up in the gloves of corner. Rattlers still without Whitaker on the field. Longford doubtful to come back, both via injury. Not going to be easy here down the stretch, but the Rattlers have to find a way to put a little offensive momentum together here. Whistle on the far side, foul against the Greyhounds. Gives the Rattlers a chance. Copeland on the boot here. Smith telling his team they've got to play through it. Protestations have been a constant for the Greyhounds. Mendez, who has the latest shot for Eastern New Mexico, cited for the foul. Copeland sent it toward Frank. Hammered out by the Greyhounds. Picked up by Rivera. And grabbed there, taken away by Descamp. Move forward to Kowalik, who's hit a post in this game. And flares it outside. Copeland able to recover and send it out of bounds. A good job by the Rattlers to prevent something in transition quickly there from the Greyhounds. Counter punch. Doesn't get a lot of momentum. Seaver's trying to turn here. More good defense from the Rattlers. And out with it we will come. Substitution coming first, though, here for St. Mary's. Michaela Durham into the game. Durham, the sophomore from Frisco, enters this one. Olsen out. And forward we go. Frank with Lane. Lane becomes narrow, and Frank jostling for the ball there, and she threw those arms out. They have certainly gotten this call right here. Maybe missed one initially as Mackenzie Mendez and Frank were really going at it there. Frank and clearly trying to push there toward the corner. And Serena does have to be careful. She is the recipient of a card in this game. Came in the last 10 or so minutes. Boot loose. Way deep here. In 20:45. Ends up off a Rattler heading out of bounds. 14 total fouls in the game, 8 of them by St. Mary's. The slips in the middle. Gobbled up. Durham looking to get it outside to Lawrence. Turned away by the Eastern New Mexico defense. Tucker down the near side. Dozier trying to cut off her angle. Tucker with the right foot chips it in the middle. Off a bounce. Kowalik grabs it. Drop back here. Well wide on the shot. Fogel. Mishits it slightly. The substitution going to come in, and it'll be Maldonado for Frank. Serena, after picking up a card and a foul. Out here, Alexia Star out of the game in many ways, and we will see if she is the Pizza Patron player of the game. Anything can still happen here, but right now she's my choice. Only non-penalty goal for the Rattlers. Obviously a senior here on Senior Day. You got to check out Pizza Patron, 20% off on Rattler Tuesdays. Get down to Pizza Patron and grab yourself a nice cold jug of Diet Mr. Pibb while you are. You know, it's not just pizza at Pizza Patron. They've got salads, they got breadsticks, they got sandwiches, they got some delicious pizza, and I'm going to go there right after the game. Might even end up sleeping there tonight. Morgas threading through the defense, but misses on the shot. No, I don't think I can sleep at Pizza Patron. I can sleep in the Pizza Patron parking lot. Not sure about inside the actual building. Substitution on here. Karina Martinez into the game. And out for the Greyhounds is Carly Cowlick. Morgas, midfield. And turns it outside. Back inside, Discamp. And chipping it there toward the substitute, Martinez. Nothing comes of it. Hard fought battle, middle of the field, and Von Holly is going to be cited here after sending Mitchell to the ground. Again, it might have been some pushing initially that was missed, but Von Holly used the arms there, and push will give a restart to the Greyhounds in the middle of the field. Abeda elevates it. Copeland keeps it in the air but drills it out. Sievers goes back. Centered toward Martinez. Rattlers got a head on it. Tucker trying to sweep one. Disrupted by Dozier. Loose top of the box. Martinez trying to barrel through these Rattler defenders. Tucker tried. Eastern New Mexico wants a call as Tucker went down. Never came. Lawrence finally gets it out of trouble. And words of incredulity, frustration from the Eastern New Mexico sideline. They really thought Tucker was sent down there. She was trying to stave off a whole host of Rattler defenders, and momentum going one way, momentum going the other. No whistle came out. Discamp ended up falling there. Again, no whistle. Smith saying he's so done with this refereeing, and sometimes that is the way it goes. Frustration, obviously, part of it. 2 penalties awarded to the Rattlers, but yesterday we were on the other side of that with a controversial penalty given to West Texas. There's some more metal. Off the left foot of Abeda, hammered that. Second post of the game for the Greyhounds. 3rd post overall it's been hit. Abeda off a good feed from Tucker. Almost slipped it by corner. More pressure. This one leaks across the mouth of the goal like non-alcoholic Listerine. Sent away by Lawrence out of bounds. Well, I'll tell you, it could be interesting. Getting very, very late. 15:45. Here to go in San Antonio. And the Greyhounds have been frustrated with the calls today. Frustrated with giving away their early lead. Trying to channel some of that frustration into a late goal to at least give themselves a chance. Down 3-1 for the moment, though, still. Dozier stands tall. Martinez looked like she yanked Keeney to the ground, and indeed that'll be the case. Well, things are warming up here at Sigma Beta Chi Field, both metaphorically and literally, and here's a card. It's for talking. Martinez shown the card, and off she goes. In comes Carly Cowlick, who had just stepped out of the field a couple of minutes ago. Started out of the day, it's about 61 or so at the start, and now it's 71 here in San Antonio. That's frigid temperatures, though, for San Antonio. Everybody trying to stay warm. And I actually came out here today with a garbage bag full of shredded newspaper, able to shove those down my clothes and stay relatively warm. But I'm picking that shredded newspaper out here as we've gone along. Sun is pretty comfortable, and there's not really any wind after a crazy windy day yesterday. Oh, how about this? It's a good find. Struggling to make something of it. Rich. And tried to weave her way back through traffic. Nothing doing. Popped out by the Greyhound defense. And corner plays it out to Williams. Evades the pressure, gets it to Copeland. Von Holly, unchallenged. Uses Rivera in the middle. Pass behind Lawrence, trying to run it down in the corner. Rattlers catching up here. Lawrence, drop back. Dozier, good run. Sends it in the middle. Maldonado trying to poke it in the lane, able to deflect it wide. Maldonado hungry for another. Good sequence for the Rattlers. And passing it around like ineffective hand soap does with the bird flu. Dangerous, I'll tell you. Make sure that hand soap is effective. I always will empty the first bottle of hand soap I get into a Petri dish. Make sure it does its job. Whitaker and Smith coming in here for the Rattlers. See if we can get something going here as Whitaker comes into the game for the first time since the opening few minutes of the second half. Suffered an injury back here for the corner. Bachelet trying to get in on the action. She's come back as well. The three subs there for the Rattlers and got a hit on it briefly, but nothing doing. Rattlers trying to resuscitate. Oh, it looked promising to the top of the box. And Copeland had it on her feet, and now a whistle's going to set it the other way with the Greyhounds. And Copeland position right toward the top of the box. Not happy on the call. Copeland sends it toward the sideline as they try to set it up. And this has been frenetic here over the last 10 minutes or so. Greyhounds have hit a post. Copeland just cited for a controversial foul there, and looks like Malui in the middle of the field just saying everybody's got to calm down here. It's been fouls and cards galore. Everybody excited. And indeed, Copeland is going to pick up another yellow card here. Frank has a yellow card. Copeland has a yellow card. That was for booting the ball away there. And talking to the referee and booting it away, I believe, as they try to get it set up for the restart. Greyhounds trying to piece it together, but wanting on the far side. Couldn't keep it in bounds. The Seavers couldn't keep it alive. Rattlers will take the time here. Olsen in. And out here for St. Mary's is going to be Durham. And straight back out. That won't do the Greyhounds much good. Rattlers trying to push forward. Malui couldn't secure it. Trying to go to Tucker. She's been key for him here in the second half. Spun loose to Abeda, who just hit that post. Bachelet refusing to let the Greyhounds get anything going and keeping it alive off the feet from Whitaker. Olsen Trying to touch it past a Greyhound defender. Zuniga steps in on that one, sends it out of bounds. Whitaker moving forward, slowing down with it, and will leave it for a teammate. Smith asking the referees to speed up St. Mary's, but just going to continue with this toss-in game here. Whitaker again will leave it. And tossing it back is Tucker. Bachelet has Maldonado forward, goes to her. Maldonado touching it toward the sideline. Tucker bursts it loose. 10.5 to go. Bachelet disrupted. And Tucker again pokes it out of bounds. Whitaker flicks on off the Bachelet toss. Maldonado scooped it up. Whitaker on the pressure. Zuniga swinging here. Gets it over the head of Lawrence. The Seavers touches it in the middle. Descamp swarmed by Rattlers. Olsen wins it. Forward here, Smith. And played it back through Keeney instead. Olsen out of the middle. Whitaker wanted it. Maldonado coasting forward. Whitaker wants her in the corner. Leah plays it in the middle. Headed back by the Greyhound defense. Hard challenge there in the middle by Smith. Descamp. She has spent a lot of time on the grass. Gets the whistle here. 9:18. Morgas the goal scorer. Round Smith. Too easy. Copeland gets in the way. Smacked out by the Rattlers. Picking it up, Malui. Dropped it back. Played forward to Maldonado. Lexia. So clever. In the middle, this is Olsen. Off the feed, sends it into space toward the box. Nobody able to quite make the run. Whitaker, Maldonado. Held at bay as Lane gobbles that up. Williams gets a hit on it there. Recycled. And recycled again to Copeland. Rattlers. And passing it around like a hot cup of coffee with just the right amount of Dayquil in it. Gives you energy but keeps you calm. I'll tell you give me the choice between Dayquil and NyQuil, I'm taking Dayquil 9 out of 10 times. Love that Dayquil. How about that? Maldonado. Maldonado got a shot off into the foot of Abeda, and wow, oh, wow, oh, wow. Here we go. Everybody having a calm discussion about the history of art in Western Europe in the 14th century. That is the topic of discussion right now. Holy moly. This is why I bring a couch cushion to these games to protect myself. Frustration boiling over. And I will tell you what, this is something else right now. A card has come out, and it was of the yellow variety. Now a red card comes out. Holy moly, hard play. And we are waiting for the official stats to come through to determine who these cards will be on. But physical play toward the top of the box, and it quickly descended into melee.
I got some of it! I got some of it! I wanted to see! I wanted to see!
Referees will huddle up and talk this one over. Right now, the yellow card has been assigned to the St. Mary's team. Copeland was in the area when they were showing the card. I'm wondering if this will be her. But there's been a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving. 3 cards before that melee. 18 fouls. 18 fouls in the game. And obviously you want everybody to keep their composure. We're trying to keep it lighthearted, but love is the answer, people. Love is the answer. In the words of the great John Lennon, let's all just give peace a chance. I was thinking about taking both teams to Pizza Patron. I had set aside about $900 for this game to pay for both teams, including the coaching and training staffs. That was going to be a financial hit for me, $900, but not sure anybody's going to come out after this. It is a difficult situation, and just trying to keep track of it here. Again, kind of par for the course, pushing and shoving and physical play. Frustration's boiling over. It's been a frustrating stretch for Eastern New Mexico. They have been very upset about the refereeing today, and team that got a win on Thursday but has been trending down this season, the Rattlers. Some frustrations with 3 straight losses prior to today. Tough one against West Texas A&M. Obviously a lot on the line for both teams. Really every game down the stretch is pretty much a must-win for these clubs if they want a chance at the postseason. And the referees are just having, I think, a little trouble sorting this out. Again, there was a yellow card and a red card shown. And that red card is reappearing right here. Red card shown to number 14, Kinsey Mitchell. Maldonado as well as Mitchell off the field here. Looks like the yellow card was shown to Copeland. Mitchell with the red card. So Copeland's still in. Mitchell, who I believe was right at the heart there of the scrum, is out with the red card. Well, I just hope temper's cool before this game does end. If not, though, I parked pretty close today to the field, so I'll be able to sprint out real quick. It is tough. It is tough. It is tough. And it looks like Maldonado was given a red card there as well. She did come off, so I was wondering about that. Maldonado is out, and so 2 reds on Mitchell, 1 on Maldonado, and 1 on Copeland. That was a yellow, though. A lot of, hard physical play. Frustration's boiling over, but Rattlers emerging perhaps as the victors in this one. Still up 3-1. Descamp slips and falls. And it's taken away by Williams. She will jar it loose outside. Passionate, passionate game. And you admire the passion. Just got to keep it a little more under control. The substitutions coming back on here for the Rattlers is going to be Longford. Dozier is back on, plus 1 more. It looks like it is Abigail Page. So 3 subs here. Just 10, 9 plus the goalie for each team. Both teams short-handed. Again, Mitchell out of the game and Maldonado out of the game. Maldonado, in many ways, the player of the game for the Rattlers, but shown the red card late. It's part of a crazy sequence here just a minute or two ago. We will see if she is still possibly in line for that player of the game. A word presented by Pizza Patron. 5.5 to go. We will know before then. Burst out here by the Greyhounds. Morgas carrying. Rattlers take it away quickly. Bachelet centering toward Olsen. And tripped up. Easy call to make. Sent to the ground hard by Selena Casillas, the freshman. Hacked her to the ground, and Rattlers will be able to get this out. The senior day with some fireworks here. Boot forward. Runs long. Rattlers looking for an exclamation point. Pressure by Page. Zuniga ultimately the one to sweep it forward. Rattlers trying to keep it corralled. Bachelet charging through. She's whistled for a foul. 20 fouls in this game. 2 red cards, multiple yellow cards. It's been a little bit crazy here. Rattlers with 2 penalty conversions, a 3-1 lead still holding, but Tucker against Longford, he's just come back into the game, disrupted enough by Keeney. Good job by Riley. Longford able to grab that. No trouble after corner. Bridged the gap. Longford went down a couple of minutes into the second half. Reappears for about the last 6 or 7 here in the game on her senior day. This is Olsen in the middle. This is Whitaker on the outside. Whitaker toward Olsen at the top of the box. Sent back by a Rattler skull. Just eased away by Smith. Back through Bachelet. Seeking Whitaker. Sent out by the Greyhound defense. Stepped through by Dozier. Over the top, Keeney. Onside here is Whitaker. Zuniga fighting her for it. This one runs and runs out of bounds. Shielding effort by Hayden, the junior from Walden Grove High School. Looks like they will say foul there on Whitaker. Restart, not a goal kick. Zuniga forward. Forward with it goes Casillas. 2:20 to go. Bell pretty much ringing here on a St. Mary's victory. Morgas gives it to Casillas. Why not? And skips this one easily to Longford. And gathers it up. No trouble. Whitaker bops it out of bounds here. Caitlin Schmidt into the game here for Eastern New Mexico. Rivera in the final moments coming on for Olsen. $1.45 to go. Dozier sweeps it back toward the middle. Malui to Whitaker, touches it by a midfielder, and grabbing her by the shoulder was Abeyta, and Abeyta just slammed it into Whitaker. Whitaker is shrugging it off, but the defense of the Greyhounds still a little bit upset. Abeda saying, I didn't do anything. Bench for the Rattlers upset as well. Well, another yellow card comes out. Holy moly. More cards than a poker tournament at the Hallmark factory right now. The slow unfolding of the finish. Marked by plenty of whistles, plenty of fouls. Whitaker and co might push for one more goal. Malui at the top of the box, drops one back. Rivera stepping into space. Tries to let it breathe outside. Gets it back. Oh, that's nice, but Lane able to grab it. Page on the shot. Did a good job. Lane able to gobble it up. That might be the last look for the Rattlers. Less than 60 seconds to go. Again, a big time thanks to you for tuning in with us here on KSAT 12 ABC, as well as the Rattler Athletic Network. Von Hawley and Maluhi with penalty conversions. It was all started by Alexia Maldonado, who tied this game up 1-1 after Morgas put Eastern New Mexico up in the very, very early stages of the game. Maldonado, about 25 minutes into the first half, did get the equalizing goal. A couple of penalties afterward in a game that has been marked by fouls and cards. This has been a hard-fought matchup on both sides. Kind of a crazy melee scrum in the closing minutes of the game. Under 10 seconds. It's going to be a Rattler win here today on Senior Day. St. Mary's back into the W column. Outstanding work today by the Rattlers to overcome an early 1-0 deficit. The first time that Smith, the head coach for Eastern New Mexico, has lost a game when scoring first. And the Greyhounds are making a quick exit here. Greyhounds headed out, and the Rattlers heading home with the W. It is, again, a happy Senior Day, and a good game by the Rattlers to win this one. Congrats to the Rattlers, and congrats here to Olivia Bachelet. Olivia Bachelet, one of our 8 seniors from Fort Collins, Colorado. She is the Pizza Patron player of the game. Excellent job today to anchor the defense by Bachelet, creating some good opportunities out of the back and helping the Rattlers to hold the Greyhounds of Eastern New Mexico scoreless over the last 80 or so minutes of this game. Again, final score, 3-1. Rattlers able to get the victory. A W here today. Greyhounds, again, making a very quick exit. They're already off the field. But that is all right. St. Mary is victorious by a pair of goals, 3-1. Again, Maldonado, as well as Von Hawley and Maluhi with the goals here today. We will catch you on Halloween when the men do return here on KSAT 12 ABC, as well as the Rattler Athletic Network. Till then, Joey Zanaboni signing off, saying so long from San Antonio, Texas.